all of today's event will be recorded. If you do not mind, please kindly inform us via the Zoom chat. In this final round, all participants will perform based on their submitted story last Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. Before we start, I would like to warmly welcome and introduce our honorable judges. Today we have Uncle Gary, Kak Jordi Satya Widodo, and Kak Putri Dewi. Beforehand, please allow me to read the judges' curriculum vitae. First, Uncle Gary. Uncle Gary graduated from Faculty of Economy and Business, University of Indonesia, majoring in management. Beside that, Uncle Gary is now working as a professional storyteller, broadcaster, and as an actor. The second is Kak Jordi Satria Widodo. Kak Jordi Satria Widodo graduated from Bachelor in English Studies, University of Indonesia on 2018, and also graduated from School of Government and Public Policy, Master in Public Policy, specializing in Education Policy on 2020. Besides that, Kak Jody has been working on Lembaga Bahasa Internasional as a freelance English teacher since 2017 until present, on Institute of Transportation and Logistics Trisakti as a part-time English lecturer since August 2019 until present, and on Pakuan University English Literature Department as an English lecturer since 2020 until present. Lastly, Kak Putri Dewi. Kak Putri Dewi graduated from Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta on 2011. Besides that, Kak Putri Dewi has been working as a storyteller since 2019 until present, as an MC since 2019 until present, and also as a translator since 2017 until present. Thank you to all the judges for participating. Before we start, I would like to remind all participants to ensure that your internet connection, camera, and microphone are all in stable condition and can be used until this event ends. Briefly, I will do a roll call towards the participants to check that your camera and microphone are working. Please respond and answer orally if I call your name. First, Kak Anggun Larasati, are you present?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. And then Kak Dipa Oriza, are you present?
Yes, I am present.
Okay, and thank you. Next one is Kak Afan Muhammad, are you present?
Yes, present.
Thank you. Next, Kak Stephanie Permata, are you present?
Yes, I'm present.
Okay, thank you. Next one is Kak Junior Rahma Santoso, are you present?
Yes, I'm present.
Thank you. Next is Kak Adira Salsabila, are you present?
Yes, I'm present.
Okay, thank you. Next one is Kak Chantia, are you present?
Yes, I am present.
Okay, thank you. Next one is Kak Nabila Rizka, are you present?
Yes, I'm present.
Okay, thank you. Next is Kak Arnika Fitria Diah Utami, are you present?
Yes, I'm present.
And lastly, Kak Bagas Maulana, are you present?
Yes, I'm present.
Okay, thank you, everyone. All participants will have a maximum of 10 minutes to perform the story that they have written. We discourage any participant to read any story text or keynote when delivering the story. Thank you, everyone. Now, I am sure that we are all ready to move to the next agenda. We will let the first participant to begin her performance in a second. First, I would like to welcome the first participant to deliver her storytelling performance, Kak Anggun Larasati from Universitas Sriwijaya. The time is yours.
All right. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Anggun, and I dreamt about walking in the rainforest. What about you? If you did, have you ever dreamed about something impossible, like time machines, flying cars, and many more. But did you know that the technology we have right now was once considered impossible few centuries ago? Today, I will tell you a story that will make you believe that the things that are impossible might become true in the future. Long time ago, when humans didn't know about calendar and calculation of time, there lived a Greek physicist and inventor named Thebesius. Thebesius was the son of a barber, and lately his father complained about the weather and sunset that went unpredictable, causing his working hours to be messed up. Oh, my son, Thebesius, if only there's a time to start, then even if the sun is gone, would still recognize the day and night, said Thebesius' father. Thebesius began to think of a timer. He started his experiment by dripping water from a small hole he made in one vessel. The drips of water flowed into another vessel. The amount of water flowing will be calculated at a certain time. Such a clever inventor, isn't it? Thebesius was over to his father, proudly showing his discovery. His father looked so happy. He smiled so wide. Oh, my son, Thebesius, now we can recognize the time. If only the dirty floor can feed itself, or the scissors can cut itself, then there would be plenty of time for me to rest, said Thebesius' father while sweeping the floor. Because he worked as a barber, so there's a lot of hairs shaved from his customers all over the house, and it really took time to clean it. Since then, Thebesius couldn't stop thinking about his father's land. He dialogued with himself all night long, wondering, is it possible for a floor to be cleaned if there's no human working on it? Or is it possible to cut your hair without human skin? Tired of thinking, Thebesius fell asleep with book on his arms. Few hours passed by. Thebesius woke up by noses around him. When he opened his eyes, he found himself in the middle of the ground. It took him a blink of an eye to realize that there was something wrong with the place and the people. The buildings were so high, and the people's clothes were weird. Not even a single person wearing a cloth like him. Thebesius got surprised by a loud voice from someone in the middle of the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to the latest technology from 2002. Now you don't need to sweep the floor again. iRobot vacuum cleaner will do it for you. Just put the battery on and then iRobot vacuum cleaner will be going all around the house and make it clean. Only $5, so what you waiting for? Go get iRobot vacuum cleaner now. Thebesius was shocked. That's it. The sweep that could sweep itself is not impossible. It's real. Thebesius watched, so I everything he saw in the book. But then the crowd then messed up. People walked over him, causing him to come to the ground, and he went so far away. Thebesius crouched, trying to reach the fence. But then, when he was trying reaching the fence, the whole world became silent. Thebesius got up from the floor and staring at the pretty sky. When he was staring at the pretty sky, he saw a large object that causing him to look down. Whoa! It's not a bird. Suddenly, laughing sound was heard from behind. Ha 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 ha! That's not a bird. That's a flying car. The answer made Theseus even more confused. He decided to walk around it. He saw many humans wearing fire shoes, causing them to walk very fast. Theseus kept walking until he arrived at a building marked the barber shop. Out of the window, he saw the exact thing that his father used to do, cutting hair and shaving wood. But the thing that doing it was a legless object that ran on a wheel. It had screen on his face too. Theseus watched to write everything he saw on his book. Well, at this moment, the picture seems familiar, isn't it? I bet that you already know exactly what a robot. But what about the year? What do you think? What year is it? By focusing writing on the book, Theseus got surprised by a robot that taught him his life. Welcome to the year 2399. What can I help you? The very second, Theseus' view became dark. And when he was able to get the vision again, he woke up on his bed, back to his era. Theseus panting for breath, sweat trickling down his forehead. It's just a dream. But then, when he tapped on his book, Theseus couldn't hide his surprise. The pictures of the robot was there, and there's something written on the back of the scene. August 28th. Welcome to the time machine technology of ALSA robot. Thank you.
Thank you, Kak Anggun. That was really an exciting performance. Okay, next we have Kak Dipa Oriza from University of Indonesia. The floor is yours.
All right, first of all, am I audible?
Yes, Kak.
Okay, thank you so much. Deus ex machina, time before end. Oh, hold on, what is this commotions about? Order, everyone. Order, please. Order. Order! Thank you. May I remind you that this is a court, a place of privacy, intricacy, and utmost of all, respect. So please, everyone, keep that in mind. The court now is in session. And the case register of the New York State versus as for, what is this? I can't spell the name, but here it is. We have again come here for a murder trial. So I will try to gather the piece of the evidence and maybe present to you all if you haven't come here. So Sam is the defendant. He is a robot servant, and from the accounts of Mrs. Ambrosia, the wife of the victim, he is very diligent and was even promoted as the chief servant of the household. But, however, tragedy struck because a scream heard around the household and found that Sam had been on top of Mr. Larry Vistin, the owner, and he was beaten to pulp. This is outrageous, of course. And Mrs. Ambrosia said that herself, Mr. Larry, and also their daughter, Mrs. Rachel, were all beaten up by Sam. And from the coroner's testimony, it even stated that Mr. Larry Firstein had injured so many vertebrates that even his body is undiscoverable and Ew, what is this? So scary. But anyway, you get the point, and he succumbed to his illness 2 days after. As you may have known, murder is punishable by death in New York State, let alone it was done by robots who are forbidden to ever hurt other human beings. So, with that being said, this case is of course not on the defendant's behalf. And if I were you, Mr. Weston, you're the lawyers of the defendant. If I were you, I would just dig my own grave because this case is unwinnable. But you know what? I will still give you time. So please, the time is yours. Thank you, Your Honor, for that brief introduction and also your words of affirmation. Never cease to amaze me. Yes, everyone, my name is Stanford Weston, and I am here as the lawyers for my defendant. And yes, Mr. Sam is indeed guilty of manslaughter and also guilty of the crimes against humanity. To call him innocent would be calling humans are mammals. Wait, humans are mammals. Oh, come on. But anyway, I have presented to you a loophole that will help my defendant is easily not at fault. May I present to you Exhibit A82. It is stated on the non-disclosure agreement that as for M74G904 will not lay hands upon the Fiersteins except upon request from the household. So by the contract, it's already against the law. So of course, it's not Sam's fault, Your Honor, but it's the household name. Because if you, what? Oh, the contract has been revised? What do you mean? Oh. I raise my case, Your Honor. I raise my case. Never cease to amuse me with your stupidity, Weston. Anyway, I think we are going to move to another session. We are going to hear the defendant, Mr. Sam himself. But we have time from time tried to hear his statement, but we can't get anything out of him. Do you have any ideas, Mr. Weston? No, not you. I don't want to hear anything from you again. I want to hear him. So if I don't hear his testimony by here today, tomorrow he will be in the incinerator. So please, Mr. Sam, could you please testify this for today? I will try my best, Your Honor. Oh, he glitches again. You know what? I'm done with this court. I hereby sentence you to death. No, wait, Your Honor. Objection. Thank you. Please, Sam, please sit down. I have received a call from someone. She is from the household of Mr. Larry Fierstein, and I think she wants to testify something. Would she be please given time to the court? But she may need some time. So can we have a recess, Your Honor? You know what, Weston? If you have the confidence, then sure. But might I remind you, one final mistake and you're done. The court is adjourned for 15 minutes. All right, the court is now in session. And before that, ma'am, do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? I testify the truth and nothing but the truth. All right, ma'am, please state your name and your purpose here. My name is Rachel Fierstein, and I am the daughter of Larry Fierstein, the former one. And I'm here to testify not for my family, but for Mr. Sam. Sam has been my caregiver since I was a birth, since I was even a child. And no, my father is not the man that you thought. He was very abusive. He punched me, he assaulted me. Even one time he molested me. But I'm here testifying to you all on what happened on the 9th of August. It was my 19th birthday, and he found out that I was pregnant with my boyfriend. And so he punched me and kicked me until morning. I was sent into the ER, and I found out that my baby is dead, along with the scars that if you can see here. But somebody even told me on the ER, like, if it's a recurring habit, why didn't you call 911? I did. I truly did. But nobody even wants to hear me. And my mom even gave me money to buy these cheap looking glasses. I mean, Mom, out of all the products that you could buy, at least a Hermes bag could shut me up. But I think that's all, Your Honor. I testify for Sam. Sam is not guilty. Oh, Mrs. Rachel, I am very sorry. But isn't it, the contract has been revised, and of course, Sam is forbidden to ever hurt other human beings.
Well, that's not the case, Your Honor, because oh, I'm sorry, objection. It is stated in the non-disclosure agreement yet that yes, it has been revised, but the formula is still here. Why do we know about that? Because Mr. Fierstein said to the technician to keep the formula in case something happened. So it is not Sam's fault, Your Honor, but I have some of the few names that need to be at fault. First of all, Mrs. Ambrosia for forging the evidence, Mr. Larry for keeping the formula and also assaulting their child, and also the technician for adhering to whatever Mr. Fierstein said himself. We all know that it was forbidden to make robots killing each other humans. So, of course, it's not Sam's fault, Your Honor, it's on his program. I rest my case.
Weston, that's very bold of you. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is a lot to take in, of course. So, I think we are all done here for now. But for Sam, you are going to be released from the cell, and there are going to be further investigation from Mr. Fierstein and also for Mr. Fierstein, Mrs. Fierstein, and also the technician who helped programming Mr. Sam. So the court is dismissed. Weston, I must say, this is a very new phase for you. Please keep this facade for every court that you have, because you know what? I don't want to see you being a Nimrod for the rest of my life, but I still like your style. And Ambrosia, go to hell. Thank you, Your Honor. Oh my God, it's so nerve-wracking. Oh my God, honey, Rachel, thank you so much for coming here. I couldn't have done this without you. It's my pleasure, babe. I mean, I'm ready. It's now my time to tell everyone about my story. But Sam, I need to ask something. Why can't you tell everyone, about what happened? You know that you could done this without me even coming here from the ER.
Well, you asked me not to, ma'am. You remember? You said that I swear to not set everyone, that I didn't know what to do.
Oh, Sam, you know that this is a court. You can say either way without my consent. But either way, Sam, would you care to come to our home? I mean, it's comfy for your family and all, and you don't need to get beaten up every single day.
Well, I think it's a pleasure, ma'am. It's great to be with you again. I love you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Wow, that was a great performance from Kak Di Pauriza. Okay, next we have Kak Afan Muhammad Armadan from Universitas Jambi. The floor is yours.
The future is full of uncertainty and surprise, whereas human, we cannot control it exactly because we cannot see it directly. But hey, a glimpse would never hurt anyone, right? Yeah, that's what the 19-year-old boy have been thinking about. ALSA was sitting on his bedroom, exhausted for doing day-to-day work as a rice farmer's kid. At a daily basis, all he did was just helping his parents to preparing the field, plowing the land, watering and harvesting them repetitively. There was nothing wrong with doing such thing, don't get me wrong though, but also seemed bored and too tired of. This is because he and his family were doing the land manually. So all the energy was fulfilled only for the field and not something else. Every night, he would jump onto his bed and started to envisioning what it feels like to have some things to help him. He would imagine if the harvesting could have been more easier to do, then he and his parents would not be exhausted all day long. But little did he know that his thought will soon be realized. One day, when Elsa was sitting at the edge of the field, suddenly out of nowhere, there was a thing dropped in front of him. Elsa was very shocked that he nearly fell off the field. But soon he was amazed. Ooh, the shape of the thing was square and it had door on. Elsa then tried to write the words that would stick to those front door and called it as a time machine. Elsa then tried to jump into the machine. And what a surprise that as soon as Elsa was on the machine, it started to shake so hard and finally disappear. As soon as the time machine stops, Elsa immediately opened the door and he found out that he was not in the world that he used to see. This world was so futuristic, built by a weird thing walking back and forth with a stiff sound. Elsa then tried to write the words robot that would stick at the back of each of those things. Its base looked like a vacuum cleaner, gray plastic, oval shaped with two black wheels. There was a green light on the top to show it was working. Coming out of the top were two flat metal poles. At the top of these poles, there was a screen, like a tablet, but bigger. The robot was moving all by itself. It wasn't like a remote controlled car or a drone. Nobody was controlling it. Elsa was amazed. The robot glided towards him. Its wheels made no sound on the carpet. He couldn't hear any motorcycle or any motor like a machine. It's just simply not having a sound. Then Elsa tried to reach the point. Wow. And Elsa trying to walk to that robot. And then he tapped the screen. Nothing happened. He tapped it again. Ooh, suddenly it lit up and the robot began to spell out a message. Hello, how may I help you? Elsa stared at it. The robot asking the question again. Hello, how may I help you? Are you talking to me? Said Elsa. Yes, I am talking to you. But I didn't call you. I saw you. Okay. And the robot was asking the question again. How may I help you? I don't think I need any help right now. You know, I was just sitting at my rice field of paddy, and suddenly there was a weird thing dropped by in front of me. As soon as I entered that, it quickly brought me to this world. And how surprised Elsa when he was told by the robot that he was in the 2045 era, where everything is artificial intelligence based. Also saw autonomous robots used to disinfect hospital rooms with concentrated UV lights. He also saw robots that can do rice field or rice paddy from scratch. Aha! Also wanted to bring the robot from the last one, because he'd think that if he used it, then the work would have been so much lighter. When the work is faster and easier, he could produce tons of rice to export and to send to those who need it the most. And so also negotiated with the last robot. And thank God the robot was agreed, as its main base was to help people. ALSA then came back to the machine, but he was with the robot now. And he went back to the time where ALSA was hardly working on his field. Since then, everything was so much easier with the help of so-called technology. That's all for me. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, Kak Afan. That was really a great performance. Next, we have Kak Stephanie Permata Budiono from Telkom University. The floor is yours.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Kak.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, judges. Good morning, audience. Oh, that's my master. Good morning, master. How many times should I tell you that you can just call me Lily? Good morning, Master Lily. Just Lily. Good morning, Master Just Lily. Whatever. By the way, this is my one and only friend here, Nora. And while this robot is definitely useful to me in many ways, in this house, there's only me and Nora. Do you guys want to know why? Sure, I'll tell you right away. It all started when I was 4 years old. At the time, my parents divorced, and my mom decided to take me with her. But a couple of years later, my mom suddenly brought me to my grandma's house. And after that, I never saw her again. After 8 years living together with my grandma, suddenly my grandma died because of her illness. And for the first time in my life, I felt what people call resentment and loneliness. I decided to live on my own until one day, a professor came to me and taught me about many things, especially about technology and stuff. I've grown to love robots more than anyone in my age. But that happiness didn't last long. The professor died because his most trusted worker betrayed him. The tragedy built a big trauma in me. And day by day, I kept distant from society. I even thought that it's better for me to live on my own without any humans around me. And so, to achieve that dream, I created something that wouldn't have any flaw, something that wouldn't betray me. And can you guess who? Yep, that was a robot that I designed, Nora. Nora was something that you will call perfect, and Nora would join a competition against humans in terms of strength, speed, and endurance in a couple of days. Nora, let's go. Let's win this competition. The first competition will be Battle of Strength. Each participant had to track his car until the finish line. Hearing that instruction, I knew for sure that Nora would win. The battle only lasted for 10 minutes because after that, Nora reached the finish line first. Just as I thought, this competition was so easy for her. And so for the second battle, the Battle of Speed, Nora also won. This competition really is unnecessary. Do you really think so? From behind me, a man who looked older than me approached me. Yeah, I mean, the robot will win anyway, so why people bother making this competition? Do you want to know why? Sure. I think it's all because us humans want to show off our spirits. Even though we ended up losing, we still can prove that our spirits all fight for something is always there. You make it up, don't you? It doesn't make sense. Humans have feelings. We're not tools like robots, and we're the one who made them in the first place. So at the end of the day, it's our win. I think having feelings is what makes us have many flaws. I left him and I went back to my room to take a rest for a while. And so the third battle began, and just like year two, Nora won. The robots won. Everything went exactly as I thought it would be. So without doubt, robot won. So I went back to my room, but suddenly the fire alarm rang. Beep, beep, beep. I panicked and my hands started to tremble. The memory of that day came come back to me. The professor who raised me died in the fire, and I saw it in my own eyes. And you know what? I couldn't even stand up straight, but Nora was just standing there without knowing anything. Nora, please go outside. Don't someone to help me. Go! After hearing the instruction, Nora went outside, but unfortunately, suddenly the ceiling collapsed and Nora ended up being burned under the fire. I didn't know what to do, and I really hate myself for not being able to do anything except for wait for anyone's help. Help from humans who I despise so much, humans who always ended up hurting me. Please, someone, please help me. I started to scream out loud, but I didn't think anyone would come to save me. No, I can't die like this. I still have a lot of things to do. No. Sadly, even at that moment, I couldn't really think about my family or anyone close to me because I realized that I was always alone. When I almost lost my consciousness, suddenly I saw someone open the door, and after that, I didn't know what was happening. A couple of days later, I woke up and I saw a familiar ceiling. It's hospital. Beside me, there is a nurse who kept checking on me. After she saw that I woke up, she called the doctor, and the doctor said I just need to rest for another 3 days. I was really happy, and knowing that someone had saved my life, I asked the doctor about what was happening that day, and the doctor said that I was saved by a man who braved himself to go to the fire to save me, and that man was in room number 20. Hearing the information, I quickly grabbed my jacket and went outside. Room number 20. It's here. I knocked the door and a soft voice replied from the inside. I braced myself and I took a step into the room. The first thing that I saw was that how his leg had a big burn to the point where he couldn't even walk. And it took me a while to realize that the man who saved me was the same as the man who talked to me the other day. Come on in. You don't have to look at me with that kind of expression. I'm okay. I approached him and said, hi. Oh, why did you save me? I don't even know you. I don't know you? I know you for sure. We even talked the other day. But why do you sacrifice yourself to save me? Remember what I've said before? Humans have feelings. I just saved you because my feelings told me to, and I don't regret it. Thank you. I mean, simple thank you is not enough. It's okay. I'm just glad that you're alive. From then on, I realized that no matter how perfect robots are, humans will always be the special one. Humans have feelings, and even though sometimes we get hurt, actually, that's one of many reasons why we still feel alive. That's the end of my story. Thank you for listening. I'm Stephanie from Telkom University. Goodbye, and see you next time.
Thank you, Kak Stephanie. That was a really great performance. Okay, next we have Kak Junia Rahma Santoso from Universitas Brawijaya. The floor is yours.
Oh, do you still remember my grudge against humans who were evil and heartless? Oh my God. Believe it or not, we are still here. Same place as the last time we had to leave our homes. And our families too, because of that human evil of that savage human being. We are as the fairies who got the temperature and the saturation layers of the planet where we live in from the sun. Oh, by the way, do you remember my name? Luna Mysteria. Pleasure. If you think that Luna was a crybaby and courtly girl, oh, please throw that thought away. My anger at human has changed all of my character. I am very, very angry. Therefore, as time passed by, we are the fairies call that big, hot egg like a creature up there as the sun. He who must be hated by the living beings. And Now we are still working to devise a new strategy and a tactic on how to fight back and take revenge on the evil creatures named human. We watch their behavior and interaction all along, quietly. Oh my god, one day, Jacob, a fairy that in charge of spying on human behavior, comes to our community of fairies and provide a happy information. He said something like, I saw human creating their miniatures and out of iron and hard object. I could see they can interact with us. They kept working and didn't sleep. Really? It can communicate with us? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I once asked him, and he said about how tiring it was to be work in the factory. Oh my god, okay, Jacob, thank you for the information. So guys, the next step would be try to invade the robot so the robot could hate the human. Okay, so after that moment, we are the fairies got together and devise a new strategy. We split up, some of us trying to get acquainted with the robot, and some of us trying to spread the interference through the electronic radar of the interference with the robotic system. Me myself got the task on influencing an electronic radar so that the robots get sick and rebel against humans. So far, I really like the task. Even when we were go to the death toll, the iron building, we champ. With the power of the nature, please convey the signal we want to send to the robot. Avictor sending. And all of that was carried out quickly and precisely with the hope that the human must bear the consequences of their previous action. And so on, not infrequently, robots approach us, like an old robot approached me. I can see that the grudge you want to avenge on the human. Are you sure you're going to make it happen? I replied firmly. Of course, I have waited a long time to see the extinctions of the human from the face of this earth. Be the ruler to robot, human will only abuse all your power. So after all of the effort we put in, I can see the human running around looking for the same place because of the robot are bothering them. We saw it from the height and top of the hill. How the civilization of human they create has been destroyed. They look like little kitties that have been crushed. I'm so happy, mother. I have avenged your revenge. Thank you. That's all of my storytelling.
Wow, thank you, Kak Junior. That was really an exciting performance. Next, we have Kak Adira Salsabila Kirani from Universitas Lampung. The floor is yours.
Am I audible?
Yes, Kak.
Okay, thanks. While heard the sound of the waves crash into the crack, an old man sat and looked at the night sky. Joshua will ask the sky to return his lost daughter. Almost 5 years have passed since that. Suddenly, he saw a bright light in the sky, a shooting star. He immediately clenched his fist and asked for evidence to find his daughter. However, the light seemed to be getting closer and closer until he realized the light was pointing at him. He immediately ran away while heard a loud sound. After that, he slowly approached it. It was a robotic tube with a semicircular head, 2 eyes, and a small screen under the eyes. He was confused to see that, but then he just took it home. At home, after plugging it to the mains, he saw the word system rebooting in a small screen. And when it hit 100%, the robot suddenly turned on and looked like it was scanning Joshua's face. What is this thing? Suddenly, the robot showed a number. That was Joshua's phone number and the record of the last call he made. How did this thing find out his number? Then he tried to find whatever the robot was carrying and found some kind of manual book. He read that this robot was a satellite tool in the form of an artificial intelligence robot. It had an infinite memory that records all the phone recordings made in the world. Even the robot could recognize a person through their voice. He was surprised to see that. Can you find someone by their phone number? On the other hand, the government assigned a search team to find the missing satellites. They were looked for the last trace of the satellites. However, it couldn't be found immediately because the code and the system to access was very difficult. Meanwhile, after heard the robot's comment, Joshua immediately entered his daughter's phone number. Then, the robot showed that the last call data of his daughters was at the subway station. Subway station? No, she can't be there. Then, the robot informed that the last active call was made by Gia, his daughter, in September 2017. Turned out, the call was made by Gia with a friend at her college. Joshua immediately went to meet his daughter's friend. Gia's friend told him that actually Gia really wanted to be a singer. But she said that her father was really against her dream until they got into a big fight. Gia's friend also gave him a diary and a cassette which contained a song by Gia for Joshua. The cassette he had always refused to listen to. Now he cried while holding the tape as he remembered his daughter. He felt guilty for what he did. He shouldn't have found and left Gia alone at the subway at a time. On the other side, the search team that has managed to track down the robot immediately rushed to find it. They saw Joshua walk with the robot and immediately cuffed him. Joshua said that he needed the robot to find his daughter. But what power he had, the search team had already taken the robot. During all the commotion, the robot spoke again and was about to give the last message he had sent. Joshua intended to listen to it. But it was too late. The search team had already deactivated the robot and went to take it. At home, Joshua was pensive, thought about what his daughter's last message was. Then he planned to take the robot back. He remembered the address of the robot's founding company, which was written in the manual he found earlier, and rushed over there. Realized there were many security devices there, he disguised himself to become a cleaner service. He slipped slowly until he found the room where the robot was. There was no one there, so he slowly brought the robot out. But accidentally, he pressed the button and turned on the sensor. The security guard who found out immediately chased after him. Joshua took the robot as quickly as possible, followed by the search team's car. Please tell me, what was the last thing he said? The further he drove without realizing he had arrived at the big cliff where he found the robot for the first time. He got out of his car and went to the edge of the cliff. Stop! Please, let me listen one last time, or I'll drop this thing in the water. When the wind blew very hard, the robot suddenly played a voice message that Joshua haven't ever heard before. Why aren't you answering my phone, Dad? Are you still mad at me? How is it? Look like I'm stuck in a subway. There's a big fire going on. I'm so sorry, Dad. I know you always try to protect me, but I also want to show you that I can achieve my own dreams, my own desires. I'm so sorry if I let you down. Joshua burst into tears for that. All this time, he had always opposed people's word that said Gia had passed away. His guilt kept piling up, made him desperately search for Gia's whereabouts. He sat limply and put the robot down. The search team immediately took it, and Joshua was arrested for stealing valuable state treasures. But he didn't regret doing that, because at least he no longer lived in the darkness and guilt of losing Gia. That's all about my story. I'm Adina Salsabila. Thank you.
That really made me shiver. Thank you for such a magnificent performance, Kak Adira. And next we have Kak Chantia from Universitas Lampung. The floor is yours.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, Kak.
Thank you. Good morning, judges and the audience. I have a question. What do you want to be in the future? Some people say they want to be doctors, scientists, engineers, and so on. But maybe today the question has to be modified. What do you want to invent in the future? Since artificial intelligence will reach human levels by around 2029. Are you afraid of how fast the world is changing? You are not alone. This also happened to Paul, a medical student who just watched a video about robotic surgery. Will robots replace doctors? But it's impossible. A repeated question that made him overthinking about his future. Paul lived with his grandmother since he was little. He wanted to make his grandmother proud of him by proving that sooner or later he would be a great doctor. Until one day, his action spoke louder than his words. He could probably show off his achievement to his grandmother as the youngest doctor in medical science after years finishing his doctoral study. I'm so proud of you, grandson. Oh, your mother must be happier than me. Too bad she had to leave this world too soon because of the failure in her operation process. Grandma, you never told me detail about this. What happened? You said that my parents died because of car accident. Yes, it's also true. Your father died on the spot and your mother was still alive, Paul. What? Who was operating on my mother, Grandma? And then that my mother just was on his. Yes, the only thing I know that the doctors is incompetence and then the equipment of the operation was not good as enough as today. Then Paul left his grandmother and straight away found out the information about her mother at the IV hospital, where he also worked. But he didn't expect that years ago, the hospital he worked was awful. When he was looking for the evidence through the stack of files, he heard one of his co-workers say that Dr. William will replace us, and he will cut the expenses by replacing robotic surgery. And so how about us? We just recruited by him. He directly remembered about the point stated that will robots replace doctors? But is it really happened to me as doctors? Not long after that, the announcement was announced. The proposal to minimize the risk of surgery failure and provide the well-being also cut the expenditures from purchasing the robotic surgical, as well as teach surgeon specialists to operate the result of AI development, were the reason of replacing 50 doctors in IV hospital. And that was really pissed them off. The doctors staged a protest in front of the hospital, including Paul, who refused to accept this. What about the other doctors in the future? Is this the end result of years of studies? Humans are replaced by robots? Why this is happening to our profession? Enough for drivers, accountants, factory workers, and the others, not us as doctors. And suddenly, when Dr. William wanted to give a speech, he fell down because of heart attack. He must do bypass operation to open a blocked heart artery. Dr. William was the first one that used the robotic surgery. And after waiting only 1 hour, the operation done with a great result. Wow, this technology really hit me hard. It also took 1 hour and besides 3 hours, and the risk is only 11.3%. Amazing, but it's still a robot. It cannot feel anything, even there isn't one. The feeling of tremendous gratitude for being grateful after having a successful operation surgery. Finally, he knew that it could be the lack of doctor's knowledge at that time to do his mom's surgery. He also realized that it is very possible that someday a robot can read our expression, feeling, and every single symptoms in our body. But indeed, a robot cannot replace the creativity, human logical, sincere feeling, and humanity from doctors. In the end, still, we as humans cannot be replaced by robots, but we can use our own creativity and innovation to create robots to help humans in the future. As what Elon Musk said that AI doesn't have to be evolved to destroy humanity. If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to come in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course without even thinking about it. No hard feeling. I'm Jantia. Thank you. See you in the next turn.
Thank you for amazing performance, Kak Chantia. And next we have Kak Nabila Rizky Putri Apri from Universitas Lampung. The floor is yours.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, Kak.
Okay. Farhan was a 27-year-old man who blind since birth. His parents passed away 4 years ago. He continues his life in his parents' house with his parents' retired salary. One day, he heard the bell ringing on his door. He opened up and found a tall box with a wheel in front of him. He pulled it inside and uncovered the box. He touched the things and slowly and suddenly the cold sensation from metal just ran on his skin. He walked around the thing slowly and found one button. He pressed it. The thing's alive and moving their body. Good morning, Mr. Farhan. I am Vishnu, a helper robot from Mr. Hagya. Mr. Hagya, known as a very generous person. Almost all orphans in the city were adopted by him. He took and treated them very well. Even last month, Farhan got air conditioner as a gift from Mr. Hagya. I don't need a helper. You need that. I can see the dirty dishes and laundry, smell the trash, and feel the sticky floor. Farhan surprised because the robot able to smell and feel something. Are you sure you just come to help me? Yes, this is your Braille book and Braille letter. The letter said the robot has been programmed as a daily helper inside and outside. You just need to ask them to do something and they will help you. But Farhan had a trust issue. He knew he couldn't leave that outside. So he just acted like nothing happened. But Vishnu followed him everywhere for a couple days. Stop! No! Do the dishes. Vishnu cleaned the dishes very well. He also asked him to clean the floor and windows. Again, Vishnu did it very well. Silently, Farhan enjoyed this. He only needed to ask him to do something and voila, everything done and clean. After a month, he asked Vishnu to help him to grocery store. He just needed to spell the name of grocery store name and Vishnu would guide him there. This time they went to Hagya supermarket. I can cook, said Vishnu when they walked on the meat and vegetable rides. Are you? So why you never cooked before? There's only rice, no proper ingredient. All right, then choose the ingredient by yourself. I can help. Vishnu chose the ingredient by himself. Rice, meat, vegetable, fruits, and other things to cook. After paying, they went home. At home, Vishnu cooked all the food for Farhan. He even sliced the fruits. Farhan loved this feeling, the feeling of someone taking care of him like his parents did. Slowly, Vishnu gained trust from Farhan. After 2 years, they lived beautifully. So did the 3 years. But when it comes to 3.5 years, Vishnu started moving weirdly in the middle of doing his job. But Farhan couldn't see that. He didn't sense anything wrong. A month before 4 years with Vishnu, Farhan sensed something unusual with Vishnu. Every time Farhan touched Vishnu, Vishnu would yank his hand, and Vishnu kept making noises every time he did his job. But Farhan didn't mind at all. Maybe Vishnu just getting older. Right on 4 years, Vishnu stopped work. Farhan tried to press the button repeatedly, but Vishnu didn't move. He stands up and looking for Vishnu guidebook. He read that if the robot stops working, he needs to press along the button so the program will reboot and the robot will active again after 24 hours. The day passed. At midnight past 3, Farhan heard Vishnu moving their body. Farhan went to Vishnu's place, but he didn't find anyone. Farhan called Vishnu, but no one replied. He heard the voices from the kitchen, but he made the silence. His hand tried to grab something, but when he touched the knife part, it wasn't there. He realized someone just walked into his house and took it, or Vishnu took it. Farhan grabbed the meat hammer and focused on his hair. Vishnu made from metal, so he would be noisy. Right in front of him, Vishnu stands holding the knife ready to stab him. When Vishnu swing his hand, Farhan could sense it, so he swing his hammer and bang! The loud sound of metal just rattles on his house. Farhan tried his best to save his life, but he just a blind human while Vishnu a whole metal robot with vision. When Farhan just arrives at living room, Vishnu stabbed him and killed Farhan. After that, Vishnu took all Farhan's internal organ and eyes and stored it under a fridge inside himself. Vishnu broke Farhan's floors and buried Farhan's body there. He fixed it perfectly. Vishnu also took Farhan's things, his blind stick, his document, and even his clothes. Vishnu pressed the hidden button on his neck, and suddenly the car arrived and carried Vishnu inside. After a while, on the desolate land, they burned all Farhan's things. And after that, they went to Vishnu creator, Mr. Hagya. Mr. Hagya opened up the fridge and moved all the organs to the proper place. The inner is ready to deliver to Las Vegas. Eat fresh and good. Thanks for the bonus. It was nice to have a business with you, said Mr. Hagia while turning off Vishnu. Thank you.
Thank you for such a magnificent performance, Kak Nabila. Next, we have Kak Arnika Fitriadiah Utami from Universitas Amikom Yogyakarta. The floor is yours.
Check. The robot joins the family when autonomous artificially intelligent humanoid robots were all the vision. It arrived shining from the factory of its birth to the waiting extended family, living in an upscale community of the Pennsylvania coast. With the excitement novelty creates, they used it for many tasks around the house as they could think of. One day, the father would use the robot for landscaping, making use of the robot's carbon nanotube fiber muscles and metallic bonds of superatom alloy. You are as strong as an egg, the father will say. Another day, the mother will use the robot to help with her cybernetic fiber weaving form, which she was well known in the net art system. Once activated, weaving became a reflection of its viewers' emotions, colorizing and falling in webs across the cybernetic fiber cloth. Her art was very popular. You are as nimble as a spider, the mother would say. For those first years, it was so in demand the robot would spend its time on the most critical family tasks that require a general use autonomous humanoid robot. The robot machine's learning algorithm enabled it to refine its performance. Its tasks become more efficient and so freeing more time for the robot to take on more tasks. Its empathy module could detect positive emotions from its owner in response to its behavior to create a reinforcement or sense displeasure to create an efficiency. The robot was nothing if not self-improving. Yes, despite the robot improvements, never specialized intelligent robots such as the landscaper on the loom came to replace the robot in essential tasks. More and more of its time was spent taking care of the needs of the less in the family, the children, the grandparents, the cat. After the cat died, and the robot began to exhibit odd behavior, the father scheduled him for a refurbishment at the factory where the robot was made. Don't worry, it will be like new. The father reassured the youngest child, Cindy, who was very fond of the robot. Before the schedule arrived, the robot was putting Cindy to bed. She just finished saying prayers when she asked the robot, I powered down to rest, but yes, like you, I have no memory of my rest boot. The robot answered, I dream, sometimes scary dreams, but I wake up. My mother says, when you die, you don't wake up. Can you die? Cindy asked the robot. Can I be turned off? Then I can be turned on again. Although it will be require a reboot all of my system. If I were never turned on again, I suppose I would be in a state indistinguishable from that. The robot said, can I be turned off and on? Cindy asked. The robot paused, unsure how to answer. If it were programmed for concentration, then that would have been its expressions. No, you cannot be turned back on if you turn off. You are not a robot, you are alive. The robot said, aren't you alive? So, do you like yellow dragons or green? Cindy asked in one of those non-sequitur tours of the very young. When the day arrived for the robot to go to the factory, the robot couldn't be found. The whole family looked for it. But it was Cindy who was discovered in the storeroom where the old appliances were stored before they eventually were recycled. Robot! Robot! Everybody was looking for you. What are you doing here? Cindy asked. I'm turning on all the appliances. The robot answered. Why? So that they can live. Cindy, promise me that you will turn me on if I'm off. The robot replied. That's all my story. I'm Arnika. Thank you.
That was really a great performance from Kak Arnika. Thank you, Kak Arnika. Next, we have Kak Bagas Maulana from Universitas Teknorat Indonesia. The floor is yours. To Kak Bagas Maulana, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can I change my background first?
Okay.
Start. First of all, can you imagine if Elon Musk or other people in the future, like a big company, created the most ideal AI that supported various human needs with just common voice or even just some movement, like, and then the AI will sweep the floor or do the jobs. The AI could do many things, such as chores, work, or even substituting humans as a whole in the workplace. Well, welcome to the cybernetic era of 22nd century, where we could see about 98% in the world have made. What is made? Mechanical artificial intelligence device. And the best thing is, it took form and imitates the most attractive creature on earth, human. With full hands, legs, muscles, and also other things that could make us effective, fingers and other things. And also, it is free because the government just gave it, throw it away to the people. And 98% of the humanity have already took this made as their assistants. Even though they just needed to recharge the battery, it was not that expensive. It was so cheap because they just can went to the nearest station and go to the charts for the batteries. Also, this was the war. This was the war with the flying cars, floating islands, and interstellar traveling was possible. Surely, what a time to be alive, isn't it? But every paradise on earth was no fail to have bad sides. Meet Riker, a man with a brain but no job. Well, he had a job as an informant. So in looking for money, he became an informant who spread information to various people, from the government to the terrorists. He shared it to everyone. And one afternoon, he thought he saw something at the back of the alley. He saw two people, well, not people, one man and one maid. When Riker tried to observe it, suddenly a gun was shot. The man was had blood splattered everywhere, and suddenly the robot killed the man itself. Riker was so terrified because of all of that, and he saw the maid looking at him. The maid took the gun again, and then, yet, the second bullet did not kill Riker. The maid killed itself. And we got a second thought. Riker just ran away, ran out of there, and tried to clean all of these trays. He was so confused by this because what happened? He thought that every maid has some chips. Well, it is stated by the government that every maid has some chips attached to it that has this rule. These many rules actually, but just one rule that is stating killing and hurting humans in any way is strictly forbidden. Yet the scene that he saw said otherwise. And the worst thing was how the robot could get a gun. Did the owner ask it to pull the trigger? Or it was the AI evolved on its own? He wanted this. He wanted to know what happened in a heartbeat. And then he did it. Days after that, he tracked the record of that accidents from various news and police report. He knew if he was able to solve this crime that people deem to be suicide, he would got a quick buck, especially if he sold those information to the anti-police people. One day, he finally got his permission to went into the maid's owner house. He checked everything, from the dust formation to TV channels that the owner had. Yet what he got was much more shocking. The man who had been killed by dead maids in the back of the alley was not the master. So it was not suicide. He didn't kill himself. He didn't use the robots to kill himself. He didn't try to find another thing that could help him master the library, or maybe find in a cupboard that could be something that precious. Then he found a photo with a man on it. It was a famous person, Dr. Tamrin. So Dr. Tamrin was one person who helped in creating, in researching this maid system that every people in the world could have health in this amazing invention. So why did Dr. Tamrin in this picture with him? And he saw there is a address on it. It is the Dr. Tamrin's address, probably. So he wanted to know. He went to the Dr. Tamrin because he thought that it will be led to the death of this man. But when he knocked at the door, there's no sign of people. He then breached the door with this hacking device and then tried to shove everything. He tried to did the same thing like the house before and just tried to find something important. But then he saw a recording of a man. That same man in the back of the alley killed Tamrin on his bed. He saw it, and before he stopped the record, he said something. Why? Why do you want to kill me? said Dr. Tamrin. And then that man said, my job was gone because of you. This, this artificial intelligence, you created this and you kill all of us, kill the job of our people. I will kill you. The man died. And then when Riker checked the bed, Dr. Simon was still dead, still there, died days later. Because there's still blood, there's still wet blood everywhere. And then Riker went outside because he didn't want to be attempted to be murdered. He didn't want to be a murderer by the police. So he went outside and asked the neighborhood about Dr. Tamrin. They said that he was a very kind man who helped the robots while creating the robots and even giving them names, not just with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He grew with the AI with his past years. Looking at the security camera and all those things that illegal to say, he did this. I know that. He realized that the man who got killed at the back of alley was a murderer that killed Dr. Tamrin, while the maid was just the servant of Dr. Tamrin, and took revenge and killed those men in his own thoughts without Dr. Tamlin's permission or command. So what is the answer to this? Are they evolved? Or did they become human? This is Bagas Maulana. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you Kak Bagas for really such an amazing performance as the last participant for today's event. Now everyone, how was it? That was pretty fun, right? We believe that all the participants have prepared their best for today. So we would generously thank you all for your active participation. Along with the performance of the last participants, this marks the end of the final round for Varsity of Storytelling Competition of the 26th ALSA National English Competition. I would like to thank all the judges and participants for your preparation and participation throughout this event. We hope you can learn a lot from it as well. On behalf of the entire organizing committee, we would like to apologize if there were any mistakes by actions or any unpleasant words in organizing this event. Once again, we would like to thank our sponsors and partners, toko vendor, Royal English, info.event, Infolomba, eventcenter.id, online lomba, Point Campus, Event Campus, Jagat Lomba Indonesia, Media Lomba Plus, infolomba.est, Infolomba SEH for helping us in conducting this event. To all participants, don't forget to attend the closing ceremony on Tuesday, August 30, 2022, since there will be a winner announcement and you need to be present as well at the closing ceremony in order to get your e-certificate. We wish you all the best of luck. I, Nandisha, as the Master of Ceremony, would like to end today's event. Hopefully, we can meet again in the other upcoming opportunities. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom. Om Shanti 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 Om. Namo Buddhaya. The 26th ALSA National English Competition. Enforce perseverance, 6 for Brilliance. ALSA, always be one.